What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. It's Baskets from Baskets Resale, and today we're going to talk about identifying Redline Hot Wheels. So one of the most important thing to look for when you look for a Redline, of course, is the red lines on the wheels, okay? But there's been a lot of reissues made in the Hot Wheel world where a school bus like this might have the Redline wheels on it. They're a little bit harder to see, but this, in fact, even though you can still say it's a red line, you can tell one of the things you can look for is if you see a little emblem like that, most likely it's a reissue. Okay? So, the original Hot Wheels, for example, the red lines, this is the school bus from the 60s. There's no album, there's no, label like that. Then this Hot Wheel here, okay, if you look at it, it's going to have different writing. So this one, for example, will say, let's see here, Hong Kong on it. You see it? Right there, it says Hong Kong. Now, it's going to be really simple when you look at this car here. When you look at this car here, if you're at a thrift store or an estate sale or anywhere like that, you see it here? What's the difference? That says China. And even though it has the red lines, it looks exactly like, like the original ones. It's got the scoop. That China is a giveaway that it's a reissue. Also, this thing right here. Now, somebody could buff this off or repaint it a little bit, and it will look very similar to the original. But that China is going to be a giveaway for us. Okay? And then another thing is, when the Hot Wheels came out in 1968, they had Spectra Flame paint. Well, most of them did. From Spectra Flame paint was from 1968 to I think about the early 70s, and then it became more dull. But a lot of them will have a Spectra Flame paint. If you look at it kind of from the side, if you see the purple one, it's got a little bit of a shine to it, okay? And the regular Hot Wheels like this reissue here, it doesn't have the Spectra Flame paint. So, for example, that's one thing to look for. Now, this is the original one. It does look a little dull, but if you can tell, it's got a little more Spectra Flame in it. And then, if that's not a giveaway, you always look for the Hong Kong. Hong Kong 1969. And then the reissue, again, we see that little white label there. And then you look for the China. As soon as you see the China, that's a reissue, okay? So, if you're looking to buy, Hot Wheels for your collection, this is the Custom Camaro, and these are actually the most sought after Hot Wheels. The Custom Camaro was the first one made. It was made in a dark blue color. And this one is kind of like an aqua color. And even though this one's in really good condition, this is actually a vintage Hot Wheel. If we turn it around, you see that right there? It's got the Mattel USA. Now, if this was a reissue, most likely it would have China on somewhere. And again, we're looking for that vintage paint, that Spectra Flame, and we're looking for the red lines. And you got to be really careful because the reissues, for example, I'll show you a reissue here, okay? This is the Mongoose, okay? Now the Mongoose has the red lines, and this is from the FAO Schwartz reissue. It's going to have China right on there. And even though the year might say 1969, this is a reissue. It was made in the 90s. Here we have the original These are called funny cars, and it opens up like that. The Mongoose's snake were actually rivals race car drivers in the real world. And they made a car on them. So it says Hong Kong 1969. So very similar looking cars, you know, these two. But one is, I think this is actually the snake too. This is the mongoose, but they're very similar looking. But one is a Hong Kong and one is a China. So that's one easy way to tell. Another thing you guys can do is pick up this picker's guide. If you're interested in picking Hot Wheels, this picker's guide, you can get it online for really cheap. And it literally tells you what to look for and where. You might watch my video, I might, you know, explain a little bit to you, but it tells you a lot. Like for example, this American hauler here with the Redline wheels, it says 50 bucks. Also, when you look at the prices, you have to be very careful of looking at condition. This might not be worth 50 on the real market, even though they say 50. You have to kind of look at sold auctions. But this one will be 50 bucks. And then I have the same, you know, the American tipper here. No red lines. Hong Kong. That's not going to be worth as much money. So that was the American hauler, but this is the American tipper. Now the Redline one is going to be worth a lot more desirable. And you might come across these sizzlers, and some people will, they pick them up, they feel them, they're made of plastic, they think they're cheap, but these can actually be worth a lot of money. And again, we have the Sizzlers logo on the bottom, and you have the Mattel made in Mexico. These are getting more rare. People use these to race. They actually race around a track, and they have just as much, you know, Redline collectors collect these just as much as regular cars. So one way you want to look for the Spectra Flame paint. You want to look for wear on cars too. If you go to a thrift store and you see something that's a little beat up, it's got the red lines, you look for that Hong Kong on there or made in the USA for earlier versions, you probably have the real deal, okay? Now, if you have a brand new looking car like this, you know, for $3, there's a good chance that it's probably not a Redline. But you want to just keep familiarizing yourself with what the real one looks like and what the reissues look like, because it's a really easy giveaway. You know, from the way the paint is, it's got that newer kind of yellow paint. You're looking for older paint. You're looking for some patina on them. You're looking for worn out wheels. And if you find one, you know, if you get lucky enough and you find one that looks, you know, pretty good, it looks, you know, pretty decent condition, you want to check for that. Where was this one? It says made in USA. It's got the patina, a little bit of patina on it, but it looks really good. You probably have the real thing. So, you know, red lines are really hard to come by. I go to estate sales quite often, and unless you're the first person in line or like the first 5, if they're priced well, you're not going to get them. Somebody will just come in and they'll buy everything out. So if you're looking to get some at the flea market, go to the flea market early. Start identifying them. What, you know, each model has a different price. Like a Camaro might be worth a couple $100. Certain ones like the, you know, this one right here, the Silhouette, might be worth, you know, 20 to 40 bucks. They all have their own different price ranges. And if you see them without a wheel like that and it's a nice car, don't worry about it, because the first couple of years they actually made them where you could take the wheel off. See, it just pops right off like that. And you could just buy on eBay an older car for like 10, 15 bucks and use it for spare parts. So the wheels just pop off and they pop back on, and they stop that. One thing it does is it corrodes kind of the axles. As you can see, the axle on this car is a little bent. And they actually switched from that style to just regular wheels, and that's what they continued on producing. So One of the things when I started out collecting Hot Wheels, to familiarize myself, I would look up, look them up online, look at different price ranges. These are the first 16 that were manufactured. Familiarize yourself with the all original first 16. Of course, the first one was the custom Camaro, and then we have the others here. We have the custom Cougar, Ford J car, custom Fleet Side. We have the Python, the T-Bird. Of course, we have the Hot Heap. That's a nice car. We have the beautiful Surfers Diora, Firebird. We have the Silhouette. We have the Beatnik Bandit, the custom VW Bug, custom Mustang, custom Eldorado, custom Corvette, and a custom Barracuda. And in 1969, they came up with new cars. As you can see, the colors became a little different, a little brighter. You still see the Spectra Flame. They added a whole new lineup, made it a little more interesting. So you got different cars here. You got the classic 31 Ford. In 69, they continued with the trend. These cars, they had a hot rod look to them. When Matchbox was king of the industry, Hot Wheels came up with these hot rod looking cool paint cars, like this VW Beach Bomb, and just the classic Woody car, and people were just buying them like crazy. They couldn't get enough of them. And you have some of these King Cuda and all the classics here. And then in the 1970s, they kind of went towards that industrial kind of cement mixer, dump trucks, and all that other stuff. So there's so many different cars to familiarize yourself with. And some of these colorways, they got more rare, and they're more rare to find. So there's just a lot. I would suggest picking up some books. This is just a regular collector's book. I think I found it at an estate sale. Talks about different Hot Wheels. Familiarize yourself with the Hot Wheels, with the color combinations. Don't walk into an estate sale thinking this is a Redline because it just has the Redline wheel, not looking at it. And yeah, if it says vintage on it right there, that's from the vintage collection. And these cars can still be worth, $20 plus, but it's not something you want to be paying top dollar for. Another thing to look for, like this has the Redline on it. This is from a special series of cars. It's got the opening cockpit. This is actually a twin mill, which is a popular Redline car. It's got that futuristic big long hood. It's got the big engines on it. But this is actually, it's got the Redline. And yeah, again, one thing you got to look for, you see a slight hint of China right there. And obviously the 60s Hot Wheels did not have the rubber tires. The rubber tires actually came in 1983, and they're called Real Riders. And they actually stopped producing them for a little while because it got kind of expensive, and then they reintroduced them to the market. But yeah, Hot Wheels is a fun hobby. There's different... Oh. At least it wasn't a good one. This one's kind of beat up already. But yeah, even in beat up condition, guys, like these cars, even in beat up, scratched up condition, some of these cars could be worth hundreds of dollars. And the most rare one, of course, is the, as you can, there's rookie cards at, for basketball players. This is kind of the rookie. The Hot Wheels Camaro, the custom Camaro, is the rookie card, you would say, for Hot Wheels. This is the first one, and the most sought after. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Keep collecting Hot Wheels, and I wish everyone the best. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, as it really helps the algorithm. And we'll keep producing videos. Let us know what kind of videos you want to see. We'll keep making videos, probably a couple of videos per week. I've been really enjoying putting videos together of our thrifting and resale and going to different thrift stores. So yeah, I will see you guys in the next video, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.